Page 150, Home on the Range. Now this is what we call a lead sheet. A lead sheet, they talk a little bit about it. You get a melody and some chords, and then or the names of the chords, and then you make up your own accompaniment. You improvise. There's all kinds of books. They're called fake books. And they just all kinds of pieces in them with, you get a melody and the chords and you improvise. It's a good reason to know music theory if you want to get into this sort of thing. Some people love to improvise, other people don't care for it, whatever. I'm not crazy about it, but I'll teach you what little I know. There's plenty of videos on YouTube if you want to learn how to improvise. Just look it up, how to improvise. However, let's talk about this and my approach toward this kind of thing. First thing I want to do is learn the melody. You got to be able to play the melody well enough that so you can be focusing more on the accompaniment, because you need to be thinking about that. So I still basically the same routine we've been following, and that is I look it over. This is a little over a page long. They only give you one staff. That's the staff with the melody in it. That's fine. It's in treble clef. 3/4 time signature. There's no sharps or flats in this. So we're in the key of C major. Make sure you can do the C major scale and all that. We have a pickup beat. We're coming in on beat 3. And just make sure we can play this melody okay. Because it's not really in a 5-finger position. We're starting to get out of that 5-finger position more and more. So be careful. Careful on these finger numbers. It's okay when you're moving around to have finger numbers like they tell you 3rd finger on the C. Well, that's because you're not, the 3rd finger's on B normally, so you'd come up. That's okay. But a lot of these other finger numbers you may not need. We'll see. Anyway, at the beginning is 3, 1, 1 and 2 N. Reach up. Now 4th finger. And the reason for 4th finger is because we got a G coming up. And they want 2. I like that. Because we needed to be in this position. Now, if you chose not to use 2, you could use thumb, but on one of those C's, there's 3 of them, you need to change to 2. You could do that too. And then you do it again. Measure 17, you're up here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, and then I want you to come down. I would rather not. I don't want to have to hear it. So I'm going to change the fingering. Measure 17 is okay, but on measure 18, rather than 4, 3, 2, I'm going to go a 4, 3, 1. Stick, and then I can come over 2, 4. This way my thumb is ready for the G. And you can, if you'd rather, instead of 2, 4, you use 3, 5. If it makes it easier for to reach the G. But at least this way I'm in position to go on. Now let's talk about what we're going to do with the accompaniment. This is using the primary chords for the key of C. Remember the 1, 4 and the 5, 7 chord. Remember those? The 1 chord is built on step 1 of the scale, which is a C chord. The 4 chord is built on the 4th step, which is an F chord, but we're going to use it in this position because I don't want to be moving the hands around, so it's here. And then the 5, 7 chord is built on the 5th step, remember, but we turn it over so it's here. So I get all these chords in one hand position. Not moving around. So I look through and I make sure I know all the chords in it. I can do those. And then first thing I do is just play block chords. I just, at the beginning of a measure, C chord. Still C chord. You stay with the same chord until they give you something else. F chord. F. C. G7 chord. So I go through and I make sure I could play the block chords on them. Then I see what other patterns I can do besides this. I don't have to play block chords. I don't have to. I play broken chords. And if that's it, the pattern is there's thousands of patterns for broken chords, just up to you and your imagination. When it's a 3/4 time, a handy one to try out is just a bottom, middle, top, because it just works out. So if I do that, that's one pattern. You could try It's another pattern. So you can also put in rests in the left hand. You don't have to play on every beat. Maybe you put in some more complicated eighth notes or whatever. I don't know that we've had eighth notes yet, but just thinking. The idea is you just make it up as you go along. You experiment, try out different things, have fun with it. They've added pedal here. Depending on what you're doing, you may or may not want pedal. You can put pedal in if you want. Just put the pedal down after the note like that, and hold it down for as long as you... I don't know that I would use pedal on this too much. If I'm going to use it, I would use it throughout. But experiment with the pedal and see the sound. Try different pedaling at different times and see what the sound is. But learn it pretty well first without the pedal. I'm not going to do a play with me because all it is a melody, and the accompaniment you can do anything you want with it. So, but if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask.